If you're a Muay Thai fighter looking for ways to improve your stamina and endurance, look no further than running. Here's the truth. Logging the miles is a key part of Muay Thai training and something you should be doing religiously if you want to stay in fighting shape. In Thailand, most Muay Thai trainees are required to run a few miles before and often after their pad work and sparring sessions. In fact, "no run, no fight" is one of the most popular sayings in the Muay Thai training world. The question is, how does actually running help you improve as a fighter, and how to get started? Keep watching this video for the answers. In this video, I'm going to explain some of the benefits that running offers Muay Thai fighters, as well as show you how to incorporate road work into your workout routine without risking injury or burnout. I'll also delve into some of the training approaches you can follow to develop higher-level conditioning. Running has always been part and parcel of combat sports training, whether it's boxing, MMA, or Muay Thai. But what does it actually do to a fighter's body? Here are some of the benefits. 1. Cardio training. Running helps build a strong aerobic foundation for training at a high intensity over a long time. By improving your cardio capacity, you'll have more energy during a fight. This can enable you to throw more kicks, punches, knees, and elbows. The more gas you have in the tank, the greater your ability to outlast your opponent in a fight. 2. Improved anaerobic capacity. A smart Nak Muay must train in a sport-specific way if they wish to be victorious inside of the ring. Muay Thai is anaerobic in nature. Anaerobic simply refers to performing an activity without oxygen. Anaerobic training stresses the body at a high intensity for a short period of time. Here's the good news. Running, especially when performed in a high-intensity interval form, improves your anaerobic capacity. This means more energy, which is basically the gas you need to perform at your best. 3. Build stronger muscles. Also known as the tibia bone, this leg bone is a key weapon for Muay Thai fighters, both for inflicting pain on opponents as well as blocking incoming kicks. When you have strong shin bone, you'll be able to strike hard with minimum risk of bone fracture and break. We've all seen top-tier fighters break their shin bones in competition. As a weight-bearing exercise, running can help you build stronger bones, especially in the shin. 4. Burn calories. Running burns calories, like a lot. At roughly 100 calories per mile, logging the miles can help lose or maintain a healthy weight. Whether you're a competitive fighter or just want to stay healthy, you know how important weight is for training and competition. How to get started running. I hope you're sold on the importance of running for Muay Thai training. Now let's look at how you can actually make the most out of road work without risking injury or burnout. Start slow. It's not uncommon that most professional Muay Thai fighters will start each morning with a 4 to 6 mile run. But if you're a beginner runner, build a running base before you try to go the distance. A proper base improves your stamina and your body's ability to exercise harder without injury. Otherwise, doing too much too soon will do more harm than good. As a rule, your first few runs should be a mix of jogging and walking. This is what's known as the run-walk method. How fast and far you run depends on your fitness level. But as a beginner, stick to a conversational pace and keep it within 20 to 30 minutes a session. Over the weeks, aim to increase the time spent jogging while taking less and less for recovery until you're running at an easy pace for 30 minutes straight. Next, run for longer by following the 10% rule, in which you increase your total weekly mileage by no more than 10%. Increase your load faster than this rate, and you risk injury and/or burnout. High-intensity training sprints, a form of high-intensity training, are a common session among serious Nak Muays, as it simulates the intense bursts of movement in training and fighting. But that's not the whole story. Sprinting also improves muscle strength, increases VO2 max, boosts explosiveness, and burns fat, all of which are keys to building a well-rounded fighter. Sprint training also doesn't take up a lot of time. An example of a quick yet efficient session would be 8 to 10 200-meter sprints, with 60 seconds of rest in between. You can add a few squats, push-ups, pull-ups, or sit-ups at the end of each sprint to make it more challenging. Last up, jog slowly for 5-10 minutes as cooldown. How many? I'd recommend 8 to 10 sets of 200-meter sprints once or twice a week. The harder you exercise, the more downtime you need. To make the most out of your HIIT running, follow a systematic approach in training. You can't just sprint a few times a week, and that's all. You should also be pushing yourself to your maximum with minimal recovery in between each sprint. You should be exhausted by the end. How often you should run? Again, this depends on your fitness level and training goals. Whether you're a Muay Thai beginner or just exercising to stay fit, I'd recommend jogging 2 to 3 times per week. Try to build up to roughly 3 to 4 miles per run. But when training for competition or looking to reach the elite level, you should be running at least 4 to 5 times per week. The plans you need to make the most out of your road work. Make sure to include some variety in your training and change the intensity and distances of the runs you do. Here's how a weekly running plan for Muay Thai should look like. Let's talk weights. 1. Trap bar deadlift. The trap bar, also known as a hex bar, makes a deadlift variation that is much easier and safer for lifters who don't have much experience. If you're watching this and learning a lot, it's safe to say you fall into that category. With the handles being at the sides, this means that it becomes easier to keep good posture and form. This position also allows you to load more weight on the bar safely. Aside from this deadlift variation being a good option for people who don't have much experience lifting, this deadlift has a ton of benefits to performance in terms of helping to generate force in your legs, even more so than the standard deadlift. One problem is that it is a somewhat niche piece of equipment, so you might not have access to this bar. 2. Front squat. I know I said no squats, but once again, this isn't your average weighted squat. The front squat, where the bar rests in front of you on your shoulders rather than on your back, is a great way to strengthen your legs and hips, while also promoting good posture. The front squat forces the person doing it to keep a straight back and good posture, or else the weight will fall over. This not only forces you to train your legs, but also your back muscles and your core in order to stabilize yourself and keep good posture. It's really easy to lean over while doing a normal back squat so that you can cheat and put more weight on the bar. The front squat builds good posture habits that will benefit you in the Muay Thai ring and in your general life. Kettlebell exercises. In recent years, kettlebells have come into style, and it's easy to see why. They are a pretty solid alternative to traditional dumbbells and barbells. Plus, if you are on the whole functional fitness train, they are a great tool. Many people in combat sports, most notably Joe Rogan, have been promoting the benefits of kettlebells for fighters for years at this point. And it isn't without merit. Kettlebells provide the user with tons of options for different workouts and a unique challenge that you can't get from other weights. The extra nice thing about them is that if you are in the market for getting your own weights, you only need 1, maybe 2 kettlebells. 15 to 35 pounds is usually enough for anyone depending on your weight. While 1 or 2 kettlebells probably isn't going to replace an entire weight set, like some people would claim, there are some exercises that you can do with them that will really help improve your athleticism for Muay Thai. 1. Kettlebell swings. We start the list with the exercise that kettlebells were probably made for. The kettlebell swing is an exercise that you've probably seen hundreds of times at this point, which might make you think that it is just kind of a gimmick, but it is not. This is a great exercise to help you develop power in your lower body, especially in your hips. This will help you develop power and speed for your kicks due to its explosive nature. 2. Turkish get-ups. You see this exercise done by people who practice grappling martial arts, and it's easy to see why. This is an exercise built around training your ability to stand back up, so the application that it has for grappling is pretty obvious. It does have benefits for Muay Thai though, especially when it comes to the clinch. First off, this exercise helps build stability in your shoulder, which is important as most of us have or will develop some shoulder issues due to our Muay Thai practice. The big benefit for the clinch is that the exercise builds straight arm strength, albeit in somewhat awkward motions. This is the same thing that we are doing in the clinch when we are trying to stiff arm our opponent to break out of the plum position. On top of that, this exercise also helps build tremendous core strength, which everyone knows is important. 3. Bottoms up kettlebell press. This one is something that you might not have seen before, but it is definitely an exercise that you need to try out. Like I just talked about in the Turkish get-up entry, shoulder injuries are fairly common in Muay Thai, so we need to take steps to prevent them. This workout will help. For this exercise, you are going to grab your kettlebell and set it up where you have the bottom pointed towards the sky. From there, while holding it in that position, you press up and go back down. This is a lot harder than it sounds. Even if you're really strong on the shoulder press, you might only be able to do one of these with a single 10 or 15-pound kettlebell. Having the bottom of the weight facing upward means that it is a struggle to hold it at the bottom position. So you need to focus while pushing it up to keep that form. While this works your shoulder primarily, it also works on your grip strength as well as your core. I recommend this exercise as a warm-up or a cool down for your workouts. Any dumbass knows that the nutrition and diets for Muay Thai fighters are almost completely different than the eating habits of everyday people. Having a solid nutrition plan for your training camp can mean the difference between winning and losing your next fight. It is way too common for people to underestimate the importance of eating healthy. Are you one of them? If you are, then my advice, tips, and guidelines will help you develop healthy eating habits that will give your mind and body the energy and focus it needs to compete at its highest level. If you are already on top of your shit and know all about dieting, cutting weight, and eating right, I'd still recommend watching this video to see if there is anything you can add to make your Muay Thai nutrition even better. To eat is a necessity. So without any time wasting, let's get started. First thing first, diet. Carbohydrates are the primary source of energy for Muay Thai fighters. You need to fuel your body with complex carbs like rice, pasta, potatoes, and whole grains. These foods provide sustained energy throughout your training. Aim for 3 grams of carbohydrates per kilogram of body weight daily. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you should consume 210 grams of carbs per day. Proteins. Proteins are essential for muscle growth and repair. Lean proteins like chicken, fish, beef, eggs, and high-protein vegetables are great options. Aim for 1.6 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight daily. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you should consume 112 grams of protein per day. Fats. Healthy fats from sources like nuts, avocado, coconut, and peanut butter help sustain energy levels between training sessions. Aim for 1 gram of fat per kilogram of body weight daily. For example, if you weigh 70 kilograms, you should consume 70 grams of fat per day. Meal frequency and hydration. Fighters typically eat 6 meals per day, with pre-workout meals focused on carbs and post-workout meals emphasizing protein. Staying hydrated by drinking over a gallon of water per day is also crucial. 1. Don't diet. A diet implies that you're only doing it for a certain amount of time. Therefore, dieting never works if you plan on taking Muay Thai seriously. In order to be a successful athlete in an area, especially Muay Thai, you have to adopt healthy eating habits throughout your everyday life. Now, don't get me wrong. Some diets have good concepts and tips on eating healthy, but ultimately you want to develop long, healthy, smart eating habits that work for you. When you are in the weight-cutting phase of your training camp, then yes, you can start a diet plan. But your everyday eating habits need to be healthy and smart. It's vital that the types of foods you eat please your taste buds without sacrificing nutrition. Everyone is different, so you have to experiment with certain types of foods to see how your body reacts to them. 2. Schedule your meals. To develop a great Muay Thai nutrition plan, you have to plan ahead. If you schedule your meals ahead of time, that takes away the stress of thinking about what to eat and helps you make smarter, more health-conscious decisions. Personally, then I feel rushed into making a decision and usually end up making a poor, unhealthy choice for my meal if I don't have it already planned. One of the best things you can do to improve your nutrition is to stock your refrigerator and pantry with healthy foods. Having loads of healthy food and zero crap food will help you control those late-night munchies. If you don't have your house stocked with cookies and Twinkies, you don't have to worry about binge eating unhealthy foods. This strategy will force you to make a salad or munch on a handful of fruits or vegetables. What should you stock your fridge and pantry with? Typically, you want to shop using the perimeter of the grocery store. That's where the healthiest ingredients and snacks are. The outer part of the store usually contains fruits, vegetables, meat, poultry, frozen fruits and vegetables, spices, and oils. Also keep in mind to try and plan ahead by having foods and meals already cooked and ready to eat by cutting, dicing, or grilling it. The easier it is to open the fridge and grab a healthy meal, the better. How else do you plan ahead? Plan your meals on a daily, weekly, or monthly basis. What I tend to do is plan my meals every other day and cook enough so I have leftovers for when I don't have enough time to cook. Not to mention cooking your own meals saves a ton of money. 3. Make slow, gradual changes. Don't think you can follow these Muay Thai nutritional guidelines and change your eating habits overnight. You have to start by slowly altering and changing your shitty eating habits to healthier ones day by day. It's like, if you are new to Muay Thai, you're not going to jump into the ring and fight in the first month you train because you'll probably get knocked the fuck out. It's the same idea with starting a brand new meal plan or diet. You can't expect overnight success with changing your eating habits. Your best bet is to take small steps at a time, like eating a vegetable with every meal or having a fruit with your breakfast. If you try to change everything at once, you'll be much more prone to binge eating. Strength and conditioning for Muay Thai can be a tricky bitch sometimes. I don't know about you, but I get overwhelmed with the amount of choices I have when it comes to strength and conditioning. Should I use kettlebells? Or should I focus more on Olympic lifts? What about bodyweight circuits? Should I be doing interval sprints, or are long-distance runs better? Is CrossFit a good form of strength and conditioning? What if I did plyometrics? See what I mean? My brain hurts just thinking about the different forms of exercises and the various ways of structuring a proper strength and conditioning routine for Muay Thai. To avoid the same thing happening to you, I've created a personalized routine to help you build strength and conditioning. Pre-workouts. Before starting these workouts, there are a few things to consider. First, I am lucky enough to have a flexible schedule where I can pretty much work out whenever I want for as long as I want. With that being said, I plan on doing 3-4 workouts a week, with each workout being around 2 hours or so. If you don't have that kind of time, then cut out the exercises you feel aren't 100% necessary, or speed up your warm-up/cool down so you can get to the main workout sooner, or just pass up on the cardio at the end. Make sure you do not rush your warm-up or any aspect of your training. Otherwise, it can lead to injuries, which would suck. Secondly, I am going to be implementing hip flexibility solution along with all my workouts. I've been doing this session and off for a little while now, but have yet to stay consistent with it. I have relatively tight hips along with lingering knee and lower back pain. So I'm hoping that I get the results that I'm looking for, mainly eliminating my knee and back pain. Lastly, I will be doing a steady pace form of cardio, around 75% of my maximum heart rate, of either light jogging, elliptical, biking, or rowing machine. This is essentially to help with my endurance, so I can train for longer periods of time, and it will also help circulate the blood through my body to aid with muscle recovery. Strength phase. With strength being the main focus here, my rep range will be between 3 and 5. The key is to make sure that the weight is difficult enough, where I can barely do 5 reps while keeping good form. Notice that I said while keeping good form. That shit is super important to get the most out of your strength and conditioning sessions. And more importantly, to avoid injury. Along with the heavy weights, I will be taking a long break between sets of around 3-5 minutes to allow my muscles and body to recover. However, I tend to find myself shadowboxing in front of the mirror between sets, so I guess it's not a complete break. Foam roll. Foam rolling is fucking awesome. I wish I knew about foam rolling earlier on in my career, because it's been such a huge help in helping with not only warming up my body, but also helping with recovery. If you have access to a foam roller, I definitely suggest getting one. Typically, I'll make sure to hit my calves, hamstrings, IT band, quads, hips, glutes, back, and shoulders. This gets the blood flowing throughout those muscles, so when I actually start using them, they are warmed up and ready to do dynamic movements. Performing dynamic movements prior to working out or training is a smart move if you want to avoid injuring yourself. Try a simple dynamic warm-up like this one here. Hip flexibility solution. Flexibility sessions can be done before or after a workout. I recommend you do it before in most cases. I've also noticed that doing this prior to working out gives me more range of motion to work in, especially for squats. Strength phase. Legs. Squat 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Lunges, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Each side. Upper body pull, 1-legged deadlift, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max each side. Weighted pull-ups, 3 sets, 3-5 reps. Max, upper body push, 1 arm chest press, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max each side. Weighted dips, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Core, Rocky abs, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Cardio, 15 minutes steady pace on elliptical. Cool down, light stretch, foam roller, sauna and shower. Strength phase, legs, pistol. Squat 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Leg press, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Upper body pull, 1 arm row, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Weighted chin-ups, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Upper body push, 1 arm shoulder press, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. 1 arm push-ups, 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. Core, ab rollout 3 sets, 3-5 reps max. If you noticed, all of the strength and conditioning workouts begin with legs, then move to upper body pull and upper body push exercises. As I continue to do these specific workout routine, I will mix up the order in which I do the exercises to make sure everything. We've all heard the Shin Conditioning methods of kicking metal poles or using a rolling pin to beat your shins to a bloody pulp. But before you go out and shatter your tibia, you might want to consider other options when it comes to hardening your shins. My goal here is to just keep it real. I know that you want rock-hard shins that can kick-throw baseball bats after a couple days of training, but that's just not going to happen. The Muay Thai Shin Conditioning tips and methods in this video aren't anything special or super hardcore, but they are definitely the best and most effective ways to turn your shins into bricks. Not to mention, they are also safer than trying to kick down a redwood tree. 1. Be patient, persistent, and resilient. I know what you're thinking. Really, Ryan? Is that your best tip for shin conditioning? Unfortunately, yes. Yes, it is. Believe it or not, there is no overnight magical potion to drink that will help you develop hard, durable shins. There is no way to avoid the inevitable pain that comes from clashing your shin on your opponent's elbow or having your kick checked during an intense sparring session. There is no possible way that your shins will be as hard as buokkas, even after training consistently for more than a year. Sorry to break it to you, but your shins are going to hurt for a while, and you're going to have to get used to it. I've been training for 5+ years and have had over 20 fights, and I still cringe at the idea of having my leg kicks checked. Although my shins have definitely hardened up since I first started training, I'm still always trying to harden them up with the rest of the methods, and in order to get rock-hard shins, it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of training. Developing a patient, persistent, and resilient mindset will be key to dealing with the initial pain and discomfort you will inevitably feel when you first start kicking. Now that I got this first tip out of the way, we can move on to the physical training exercises that will help harden your shins. 2. Kick the heavy bag. The heavy bag should be your number one tool when it comes to toughening up your shins. Sticking to basic training methods like kicking a heavy bag is crucial to conditioning your shins. It takes time and an insane amount of kicks for your shins to calcify and harden, but in the end it will be worth it when you are able to deliver hard body kicks that break your opponent's ribs. Not to mention that using the heavy bag will also improve your technique and conditioning as well. If you are relatively new to training Muay Thai, then starting off with a normal heavy bag will work just fine. Doing at least 100 kicks for each leg during each training sessions should be a mandatory part of your routine. But if you feel like you can do more, then do more. After doing your set of kicks, your shins will probably have some kind of stinging sensation. This is a good thing. In time, the nerves in your shins will start to deaden, and the pain won't be nearly as unbearable in a few months. Not to mention, you will also be creating micro fractures in your shins that will rebuild themselves and come back even stronger than before. Even if you are a seasoned fighter, heavy bag training is still super important and should not be overlooked. If you feel like your shins are somewhat conditioned and you want to add more density to the heavy bag to really start testing out your shins, then try adding more clothing, rags, or chopped up inner tubes to the bag. 3. Spar a lot. What better way to condition your shins than testing it out on a training partner's face? In all seriousness though, sparring is, or should be, a major part of any Nak Muay's training regimen, especially if they plan on stepping into the ring and fighting. There are 2 types of sparring to consider when trying to improve your shin conditioning. 1. Sparring with gear on. If you have sparred before and had your kick checked or blocked with an elbow, then you know that it hurts like a bitch, even with thick shin guards on. Unfortunately, there is no way around avoiding this pain, besides doing it over and over and over again until your shins get more used to it. Even after doing it numerous times, it's still gonna hurt, just hopefully not as much. Besides doing freestyle sparring where you just move around with your partner without any set plans, it's also a smart idea to drill certain set combinations. Throwing combos that involve checking leg kicks or blocking high kicks will help not only with conditioning your shins, but also help your timing, distancing, and technique as well. 2. Sparring without gear. Wait, we should be sparring without gear? Hell yes! Now by spar, I don't mean go as hard as you would if you were to be wearing full body armor. What I mean is to playfully move around with your training partner in a calm, technical manner so you can work on your combinations, and also not worry about curling over in pain from a checked kick. This type of sparring is very common in Thailand, and you'll see the Thais do it even when they aren't at the gym. 4. Lift things up and put them down. In order to support stronger legs, your bones need to get stronger as well. Implementing weightlifting exercises like heavy squats, lunges, cleans, box jumps, and step-ups is a great way to not only help with your bone density, but to also increase your overall strength, explosiveness, and balance. There have been a number of research studies done by universities and individuals that support the thought that weightlifting helps increase bone density. Although results are not 100% conclusive, these case studies make a pretty solid case that you should be doing some weight training to increase your bone strength. 5. Get enough calcium and vitamin D. Every day your body is removing old, crusty bones to replace it with new, sexy ones. Since your bones are constantly developing every day of your life, it's essential to have the right type of nutrients to help in their development. Calcium is one of the key nutrients you need, but without its partner vitamin D, your body won't be able to absorb the calcium which it needs. As long as you eat a healthy, balanced diet, you will be consuming a fair share of calcium and vitamin D to help with your bone development. However, adding some supplements into the mix might not be a bad idea. if you feel like you aren't getting enough from your diet. Make sure to be getting around 1,000 milligrams of calcium a day. Hardening your shins to the point where you won't feel any pain takes a ridiculous amount of time and hard work. That being said, you can expect to eventually harden your shins to the point where it doesn't make you want to cry. As long as you put in the work sparring, kicking the heavy bag, and utilizing the other methods of shin conditioning I mentioned earlier, you should be able to dramatically increase the resilience of your shins. Stay constant, stay persistent, and it will only be a matter of time until you are breaking ribs with your body kicks.